We believe everyone has the right to good design and access to healthy, inspiring, and dignified spaces. Orkidstudio works to benefit communities through innovative architecture and construction. We create high-quality, affordable, and healthy buildings using local materials and which promote opportunities for women in construction.
Women perform 66% of the world's work, produce 50% of the food, but only earn 10% of the income and own 1% of the property. Where Orkidstudio works, in Kenya, Uganda, and Zambia, women are significantly disadvantaged, both socially and economically, with over half the female population living below the poverty line.
I'd like to introduce you to Helen Nyambura Kamau. Helen is one of the most significant women not only in my life, but also in the journey of Orkidstudio to date. When she first came to our sites in 2013, we had only ever worked with men. This was largely because all of the skilled labour available were male. Helen asked for a job, expressed an interest in working and learning the techniques that we were teaching, and was very surprised, as was I, when I offered her a job at the same pay and doing the same work as her male counterparts.
No nä rä a ndekorwo tårarutania na arä wä ra mbagi na nä å ndå å tarä wekeka Kenya nä ngäigua ndakena må no na ngä rigwo nä atä ingiuga no ngä ra Ngai akima tå kenaga må no hä ndä ä tå rarutithania wä ra na arume na tå karä gå ndå å mwe tondå rä u hä ndä ä yo tuonaga ta tå hanaine tarä arume koguo å rä a må ndå rå me angä ka rä ona ithuä atumia no tå kä rä u tå hana ta tå rä å ndå å mwe twä hamwe ithuothe ndå ngä hota gå thondeka bå rå ri hamwe arume atarä atumia koguo no nginya tå korwo twä kä ndå kä mwe nä guo tåhote gå thondeka bå rå ri na tåhote kå ruta wä ra ta å cio twä hamwe. Ndä ciana inyanya koguo rä no nginya ndä sacrifice ndute nä tondå nä ndä renda marĩe na manyue na mehumbe na mathome na makorwo na maica mega. Njũĩ rä wä ra nä icembe kana gå thiä kå hå ra nguo ndetorwo gä a kå hå ra nguo ngathiä nä ndutaga ciäkagwo ta ici.
With our support, Helen has gone on to build her own home and has set up a successful egg-laying and vegetable growing business. Her income has more than tripled, and for the first time, she's been able to enroll all her children at school. Women like Helen are an inspiration to us. However, whilst all of this is going on, Africa's population is growing fast. By the end of this century, 40% of the global population will reside in Africa. By 2030, more than 50% of those living in the continent will reside in cities. At the same time, Africa has an alarming lack of skilled designers and construction professionals, less than 1% of the global creative economy, whilst existing and overburdened infrastructure remains substandard for human occupation. In Nairobi, the National Construction Authority estimates that 58% of the city's buildings are unfit for habitation. This slide here shows the slum area of Kibera in the centre of Nairobi, which is notorious for substandard infrastructure. However, even last year, a 6-story building near the centre of the city collapsed, giving an indication of the extremity of this situation. If not properly planned for, the huge pressure that this population boom will exert on Africa's cities, public infrastructure and institutions will force social and economic collapse. With more people living in informal settlements, public health issues will rise dramatically, inequalities will become more pronounced, and social frustrations with the chance for violence and unrest will peak.
Orkidstudio recognizes an opportunity in this problem. Innovative solutions are needed. In few other sectors is gender inequality more pronounced than in the construction industry, one of the fastest growing on the African continent and with less than 6% women. Women are a grossly underutilized and major component of society, and yet it is widely proven that investing in women's economic empowerment sets a direct path towards gender equality, poverty eradication, and inclusive economic growth, with women more likely to use their earnings for the best interests of their children and family than their male counterparts. Using our expertise and rapidly growing portfolio of award-winning design and construction projects, we work with low-income earning women to provide training and employment in construction skills, enabling them to earn as they learn, significantly increasing earnings and securing a professional certification.
Ruth is one of the women that we've been working with in Zambia. She came to us with a basic level of trade skills in bricklaying and has since gone on to become a highly skilled individual.
It's very important as a woman to work in construction because we need to compete with men. When I came and I joined a group of men, I was very happy, even though deep down my heart I used to fear. When I was home, my dad used to encourage me that construction as a lady, it's an advantage in future, whereby you'll be finding a lot of chances. You don't need to fear, you need to have a heart of saying, I'll do it. I need to exercise men's work.
Uniquely and critically, the women we train are equipped with a competitive advantage as more highly skilled, trustworthy, and resilient individuals, ready to meet the needs of prospective employers who widely struggle to find these qualities elsewhere. At Orkidstudio, our aim is to absorb some of these women into our own full-time workforces after their training is complete, whilst building support from other contractors to follow our lead. The woman that we can see on the screen right now is Judith. Judith worked alongside Ruth on a large hospital project we were building in Zambia. During that project, over a 2-year period, we had regular occasions where we would stop, come together as a group, and talk a little bit about the project. Over the first few months, it was always the senior, older men who were talking. After that, some of the younger men started to talk, and eventually the women started to stand up and say their piece. A couple of months ago, when we were opening and the finishing of that hospital, Judith stood up and talked about her experience working with Orkidstudio. She said not only had she learned so much in terms of skills, personal confidence, and self-development, but the most significant thing for her was the way that the men around her now looked at her. And this is the kind of impact that we're trying to create.
We're also building strategic partnerships to provide a broader education to the women we work with, including finance and business skills and sexual health awareness.
Orkidstudio already operates a profitable social enterprise, fueled by earned income from social impact organizations seeking design and construction services as part of their growth, or for the benefit of the communities they support. We have seen rapid growth over the last couple of years, with a project win rate of over 80% and a projected 460% revenue increase from last year into this year. Our model is proven, and it's now time to scale. We've been able to do this by working with a number of high-impact organizations who have brought projects to us where we can deliver the training and impact that we're trying to have. We're also very fortunate to have a whole range of different partners, from engineering, software support to impact evaluation, supporting our work and helping us deliver maximum impact.
We provide architectural design and construction management services, which are high quality, efficient, and socially focused, and thereby create a reliable, trusted, and exceptional build process and final construction, unlike other architects and local contractors.
We develop exceptional design solutions which are founded on human-centered principles and prioritize environmental performance, functionality, health, and local resources.
In our construction work, we offer a trusted service, efficiently delivering projects on schedule and budget, working with local people and materials to create high-quality and affordable buildings.
We are one of the only end-to-end services on the African continent and have an impressive project win rate based on our commitment to transparency, honesty, and cooperation with our clients. We select local materials and source from nearby suppliers, supporting the economies around our sites and promoting sustainable and responsible procurement, which respects the environment and promotes better practices capable of mitigating against the effects of climate change. Our innovative designs seek to ensure that local and appropriate materials can be used in a durable and replicable way, complementing the social and economic aspirations of the building's inhabitants.
Orkidstudio has an impressive track record, with over 11,000 people having directly benefited from our buildings, and we have won many awards and citations for our projects, including this year being named as part of the Kerry Stone Design Prize Social Design Circle.
We have worked across the world in Southeast Asia, South America, and in Sub-Saharan Africa. In the last 2 to 3 years, we've focused all of our efforts into Kenya, Uganda, and Zambia, building a range of building types, including schools, hospitals, industrial facilities, and affordable housing. We have developed and proven our model by maintaining 52% women employed across all our workforces since inception, and it is now time to scale up. We have a program ready to train these women to a point where they can get meaningful employment after their time with us, with a certification to match. We have two asks. The first is based on our rapidly growing, socially focused end-to-end design and construction service as the unique driving force behind our work with women in construction. Having created a model that has performed profitably since inception, entirely through earned income, we are seeking a working capital loan or grant of $250,000 to invest in construction equipment and materials. These assets will significantly boost our capacity to meet the demands of our current contracts, as well as enabling us to secure larger and more profitable work. This breakdown shows how we will use those funds across vehicles, heavy plant, site equipment, tools, and storage for those items that we purchase. For our second ask, we are looking for visionary partners to join us. In particular, we're inviting those who believe in women's empowerment to support our on-the-job training program. Women are quick learners, hard workers, and problem solvers. Even so, because most of them come to our sites unskilled and inexperienced, we have to invest time and money in training them, to pay for instructors, materials, workshop sessions, and to ensure very close supervision on site. To do this, we are seeking $768,000 in grant funding over the next 3 years. Over those years, we will train 1,600 women, 350 in year 1, 500 in year 2, and 750 in year 3, all of whom will be targeted from women living below the poverty line, $3.10 a day. There is a wider impact here as well. We're targeting an expected 300% increase in earnings within 18 months of graduating from our program. And from that, we hope to impact an estimated 10,400 children that are able to go to school, can be properly fed, and are part of wealthier and more prosperous households. During her time on a project, an Orkidstudio trainee will earn and learn. Her wages are equivalent to everyone else's from the outset, but she contributes 30% of them to offset part of her training costs. The additional marginal cost to Orkidstudio for taking a woman through a 12-month course of training, on-site and off-site, is $480. At the end, she will have a sufficient level of skills, competencies, experience, and self-confidence to pass both the practical and theoretical building certificate examinations set by the Kenya National Construction Authority. So, for the equivalent of around 2 months' wages, Orkidstudio empowers a woman with a marketable skill in an expanding sector for life. Thank you very much for listening.